Friends, now let us discuss about our main component, that is calculator component. So this is our calculator.js file, and I have already told you that in React there are two type of components: functional component, which we have already discussed in footer.js and in header.js, and our second type of component is class component. So this is our calculator component, and this component is extending react.component class. And before moving further, let me first tell you that the CSS class which we are using for this particular component is calculator.css. And here you can see that I have also imported various components from Material UI. So Material UI is a complete package to develop our React components. It provides us various components to design our web page. So in my package.json, here you can see that I have added and dependencies for Material UI. First one, that is for core, and second one, that is for icon. So we need to install these dependencies into our application, and once that will be done, then we can use this Material UI component inside our application. So if I talk about an add icon, so this is the add icon we are having. So this we are getting from Material UI. Similarly, I'm using this close icon. So for multiplication symbol, I'm using this close icon. This is also I'm getting from Material UI. And all these buttons which we're having on our calculator is also imported from Material UI code library. Similarly, for subtraction, I have used an remove icon. And then this text field or the calculator screen, for this particular field I have used an text field. So this is about various imports which we have done for our calculator component. Now let us move further and discuss about various logical implementation which we have done for this calculator component. So this is the constructor which we have defined for our calculator component, and in this constructor we are passing in props, that is properties attribute. So suppose if you have to pass any property to this particular component, then we can access those properties by using this props. And here inside our constructor you can see that we are initializing the values for our state object. So inside our state object I have defined one field with the name expression, and initially its value is empty. So let me tell you that what is the need of this particular expression field. So my dear friends, whatever input which we are providing by using the buttons of our calculator, we need certain field to hold that value or to hold that expression. So whatever values which we are providing or whatever expression which we are providing, we are holding that value in our expression field. That is why I have defined this particular expression field. Now let us move on and discuss about render. So whatever we are seeing in our calculator component, we have defined all those tags or all those fields inside our render method. So when we use the class component, then it is mandatory to provide the implementation for this render method, and this particular render method is used to render various components, tags or fields on our UI. So here you can see that inside a React fragment tag I have used an table tag. So here you can see that this is a table, and this table consists of different rows and columns. So here we are having 5 different rows, and in our first row we are having only one column. So here you can see that this is our first row, and inside our tr, that is table row tag, we are having a table data tag, and I have provided this column span value as 4. So this one column is taking the space of 4 different data cells. And inside our td tag we have provided an text field. I have already told you that this is the one which we have imported from Material UI code library, and these are the various properties which we have defined for our text field. Now the most important one is the value attribute. So here you can see that we have provided its value as this dot state dot expression. So this is the expression which we have defined inside our state object, and whatever value this expression field is having, that we are seeing on our UI. So first time when this calculator component is rendering, then we have initialized its value as empty. That is why initially its value is blank. So this is about our first row. Now here we are having a second row, and this row consists of various buttons like all clear button, then button for 0, then divide and multiplication. So I have provided various buttons inside our TD tag. So this is the text which we are getting for our button, that is AC, that is all clear. Then for each button we have provided an on click event. So let us discuss about our on click events. So whenever I will press this button, I am performing certain operation. So when I will click this button, then it will call this particular method. So let us see the implementation of this particular method. So simply we have defined an arrow function, and its name is when reset button pressed. So what we are doing here, we are simply resetting the expression field of our state object. So this is how we can set various values for our state object by using set state method, and inside curly braces we can provide the values for various fields which we have defined inside our state object. That is why whenever I am pressing this all clear button, then our expression field is getting cleared or reset. Now let us discuss about our next button, that is 0. So for all the numeric fields from 0 to 9, we are using a common method. So let me tell you the implementation of this particular method. But before that, you can see that I am providing the value for this particular button, that is 0. Similarly for other buttons, that is either it's 1, 2, 3 or 9, we are providing their respective values inside our value attribute for button. So whenever I will press this particular key, then what will happen? It will call this particular method, and this particular value will be passed to this particular method. So let us see the implementation when we are pressing this number key. So this is the simple method which is getting invoked when we are pressing these particular keys. So here what we are doing, we are taking an expression field value, and whatever input user is providing, we are appending the user input with the expression field which we have stored inside our state object. So how we are getting the user input? By using event.currentTarget and then the value. So by using this event.currentTarget.value, we are getting the value which we have defined for that particular component. And after calculating the value for the input string, we are updating our expression field. So this is about various numeric values which we have defined for our calculator. Now for all these operation keys, that is divide, multiplication, subtraction and addition, I have defined a common method. So let us see what is actually happening when we are pressing these particular keys. So you might be thinking that from where we are getting this particular division symbol, as the symbol is not directly present on our keyboard. So here we have provided an hex code to get this particular symbol. Now let us see that what is actually happening when we are pressing these operation field. So this is the method which is getting called when we are pressing these particular keys. So here in this particular line, you can see that I'm simply getting the expression value and storing it inside an input string variable, and I'm checking that it should not be empty and its length should be greater than 0. So here you can see that when I'm pressing these keys initially, then you can see that there is no operation happening. So how this is actually happening? This functionality is happening by using this particular condition. And now when the expression field is not empty, and now when we are pressing these operational keys, then only we are able to append this multiplication symbol with our expression field. And also there is one more condition, that is if I have pressed a multiplication key and now if I am pressing any other operational keys, so here you can see that it is not appending that particular key. So let us see that how that is happening. So in this particular line, we are getting the last character of our expression, And in the next condition, we are checking that when I'm pressing the same key, that is multiplication, then it should not get appended again. So to make that thing happen, this is the condition I have provided, that the last index should not be equal to the pressed key value. And in our next condition, we are checking that our last index should be a numeric value. So if there is any numeric value, then only we are aligning these operational keys, and if our last key is already an operational key, then we are not aligning those keys. So by using this code, we have implemented that functionality, and if all the conditions are successfully passing, then we are updating our expression field with the new input string. So this is about our operational key. Now we are left with one more key, that is to get the final output of our expression. So this is that particular button which we have defined for evaluating our expression, and on clicking on this button, I am calling one method with the name calculate final value. So this is the code which we have written to calculate our final value. So in our first statement, what I am doing, I am simply getting the expression value whatever user has provided. Then to evaluating the expression, we are first checking that it should not be empty and it should be greater than 0. So suppose if we have not provided any value and we are pressing this equal operation, then that method is not getting called, and that method is only getting called when there is certain expression which we have provided for our calculator. So when I am pressing this equal key, then here you can see that we are getting our output 20. And also I have written one more condition over there, so let me first demonstrate you. Now I have provided a multiplication symbol and I have not provided any value. So this particular operational key is of no use, and when I'm pressing equals, then we are getting our output as 50, which is absolutely correct. So how we are taking care of this particular condition? So I am first fetching the last index of our expression, and I am checking that it should be a numeric value, and if it is not a numeric value, that is a not of this, then what we are doing, then we are removing that last index from our input expression. And after calculating the value of our final expression, I am using an evaluate function which is provided in JavaScript to evaluate any mathematical expression. So I am getting an expression and I am evaluating it, and I am getting the final output, and finally I am updating my expression field with the calculated final output. And my dear friends, here I have converted it to a toString, because when we are evaluating our expression, then it is returning an value in numeric form. So we are converting that final output to a string, and then we are storing it in our expression field. So this is about our equal button which we are using to get an final output for our expression. So my dear friends, I hope that you are able to understand about all the operations which we are performing for our calculator application. And for this calculator component, we have also defined an CSS file. So this is our calculator.css file, and I have provided various properties for this calculator.css file. So first of all, we have defined an properties for table, so its border is black. So here you can see that we are getting our border is black. So we are getting this border by using this style, and we have also provided a margin for this. Now here all this button is in blue color, so here you can see that we are getting this color by using this background color property, and this is the internal class name for these material UI buttons. Then I have provided various properties like height and width for the button. Similarly for label, I have provided a left margin from here, and then I have provided its font size as extra large. Similarly for our input text field, I have provided a margin. So here when I am providing an input value, so we have provided certain margin from left. Similarly we have provided a font size for our input text. So this is how we can add external style for our components. So my dear friends, I hope that you are able to understand about this particular calculator application, and if you like the content of this tutorial, then do like, comment and subscribe my channel, and click the bell icon to get all the latest updates of my upcoming tutorials.